better.
Write it, Joel. Write it.
Welcome to the Cowboys Uncovered. We're back with another quick shot. Hey, we already recapped the Giants game Thursday, but so much has happened with the Cowboys and other teams across the league, honestly. And we got you covered. So we're back. We're going to go over some injuries, go over some player signings, and talk about this upcoming match, Sunday Night Football against the Pittsburgh Steelers. How you fellas doing?
Good. What's up, man?
Doing great.
All right.
Classic matchup this week.
Yeah, classic matchup. Like, last time the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl, obviously we played them. But hey,
Sam Spence.
Yeah, cue Sam Spence. What's the biggest headlines this week, though, Alex? Tell us about that.
Well, it's the injuries.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
It's been pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But the mentality, man. It's always next man up. All right. No complaining. But it's been brutal. So go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, us, we do our shots of the week, right? Well, this week we're pouring one out because all the Dallas Cowboys that were injured this week, but we don't support alcohol abuse on this show. You guys should know that. So we're gonna go ahead and take it for the guys, all the Cowboys that are injured, like heal up, get well. Let's see you guys after the bye at least.
Let's get Mr. Miyagi in here,
All right, let's go.
Mr. Miyagi, though.
All right, so
rub down.
Well, let's get into it.
Let's take a look at it. All right, so really the big ones. We'll start with DeMarcus Lawrence.
Brutal.
Yeah, he
went to the IR. He's out at least 4 weeks.
Much more flexible IR nowadays.
Sure. Who knows if he's going to be out longer, though. And then, obviously, the other big one, Micah Parsons, has that high ankle. I mean, he wants to play. He probably could play like an 80%. 80% Micah Parsons, probably better than 80% of the people in the league trying to sack the quarterback. But,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if it's worth to play him because we have the NFC East game or the NFC game against the Lions the next week and then a bye. Like, I'd rather have him a little more healthy for next week and limit his touches or snaps and then have him sit out the bye, obviously, and heal up. But what do you guys think?
I want to bring up the NIR rest designation is not something that's typically used as heavily as the Cowboys use it. You can kind of designate almost anything if you say they're out. You can say they're out for any reason. You could say it was an injury or dehydration, like you see Zeke and Flournoy, which is a weird thing to put on there at the end of the week. But other teams around the league, and this came up in one of the Cowboys podcasts, are talking about how like the Steelers and the Packers and the Patriots and the Rams, they don't typically list a guy having a rest day. And the topic was, do other teams give their guys rest days? And you follow that breadcrumb trail back to last year, where Mike McCarthy was basically load managing people during the week, letting people have these NIR rest days. And his whole thing was, we want these guys to be at their best at the end of the year. Well, we were probably our absolute worst at the end of the year, even with the rest. And one more caveat to add to that, just for that little thread, was that Amari Cooper, we were playing, I can't remember who the team was, maybe it was the Eagles. And in the goal line situation, which is they do goal line package installs every week. Like they have new plays and new wrinkles. Well, Amari Cooper had missed that game. I think it was COVID related. I don't remember, but he had missed practice. And we go down there to the goal line. We're trying to score against our divisional opponents, and Amari Cooper's on the sideline. And they asked him about it after the game. They're like, why was Amari Cooper on the sideline? It's like, well, he didn't participate in the day of practice we installed goal line. And it's like,
was that a coach's decision at that point, though? Like, you can't blame Amari if they're.
But hey, they're giving these guys rest days today. Like So are these guys going to get to play on the goal line? So like it's
Mike McCarthy's trying
classic
to
Mike McCarthy dumbass.
Channel his inner Greg Popovich, right? Greg Popovich started the old work balance load in the NBA thing, and now it's a whole thing these days. I'm not saying that Mike McCarthy has as many championships as Greg Popovich, but
it should exist as a thing. I just think that it's when your team is not looking like they deserve a rest, and some guys play their hearts out and everything like that. But there was a quote from DeMarcus Lawrence to tie this all together again. They asked about the defense. DeMarcus Lawrence said, "Hey man, we were tired," and that's not something you want to hear. That is a indictment on the way the team is managed during the game. So during the week he gives them rest, but during the game he's just a lot of faults in his approach. I'm talking about Mike McCarthy, and to have a leader like DeMarcus Lawrence say something like that is not a good look.
Yeah, but I mean, in the wake of all of this, guys, we did sign a player. Let's just talk about that real quick. So KJ Henry signed off the Cincinnati Bengals practice squad this week. We're trying to poach that talent, right?
Guys,
a former 5th round pick of the Commanders just last year. And then he made his way to the Bengals after being claimed off waivers. A few months later, signed with the practice squad. But I mean, I guess this guy's fresh. He's young. He's got some energy. Let's try to do, I mean, there's not much to it when it comes to rushing the passer. You put your hand on the ground or stand up like Micah does sometimes, or whatever that technique is looking like for your individual talent, and then go get the guy, right? But obviously there's schemes and stuff like that. Who knows if this guy's going to even play this week? Not sure how much they've incorporated him in the defense already, or what any of those.
I'm interested to see the game day, the selections on game day.
Does
it's going to look
that
different.
52?
It's going to look different this week with a couple guys, with 3 guys. We lost 3 guys last game. That's 3 guys who have all made Pro Bowls. Pretty brutal. We don't have a lot of Pro Bowlers left. But yeah.
So the other guy is on offense though, right? So
I want to say this though. I want to say about this KJ Henry. I like this type of move. This is the type of move we should make a couple times a year. There are good players out there on practice squads. Good players are found on practice squads. Turpin was on our practice squad. And other guys in the history of Mike McCarthy, there's been a bunch of guys come up to the practice squad. So I like this kind of move. It's not going to replace either one of the guys we lost, but we need bodies there.
We need bodies. We need warm bodies, guys. We need warm bodies in that rotation.
And I do trust if anyone's skill is to be put to the test, Will McClay's skill to go find somebody is one that I'm okay with. I mean, we can all remember when he was bringing out guys like George Selvey and Javon Curse and all these no-name guys who ended up playing. Eric Sims, was that his name? Eric Sims. I don't know if you guys even remember that guy from the Tony Romo era, but he's got the capability to do this. We might have the best front office in the league at this type of move, so hopefully it pays off.
All right.
Wasn't it Michael Sams or the guy from?
Give him a big on that one.
Well, hopefully he gets used to Dallas real quick, man. He was quoted saying that, is this an everyday thing whenever he saw Jerry Jones coming down in the helicopter?
It really kind of is. And I'll
kind of like a show, man.
It's pretty sick.
I
like that about Jerry. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, I actually interned for the Dallas Cowboys, if you guys don't know, but I saw plenty of that, like just, throwing it around the fact that he is the guy and he's the owner, but he's also the GM. Like, is he really going to be able to wear those hats and be successful? I think the answer is no right now.
Shout out to Zach Garcia making a point about, what are we getting on this guy? Probably nothing. But again, I trust McClay to have scouted the entire league. If you listen to Brian Broaddus, he talks about it all the time. You have guys dedicated to doing this work, and the Cowboys have excelled at it. I can't remember who we had recently, but I can remember one that was David Irving was off of a practice squad. And he was
is that recent?
monster.
That guy was a monster. Yeah. And then he decided to go hippie on us and just quit the league.
Okay, well,
right?
there was a reason he was on the practice squad, but we found the best practice squad guy out there. It's
Remember
like,
that game against the Browns? He had like 5 sacks.
dude, no, it was the Packers, or maybe it was the Browns and the Packers. But
Was
I
it the
think he,
Packers or the Browns?
he took the ball right out of Aaron Rodgers' hands, if I remember right. And I might be remembering the wrong scenario, but they have a track record of bringing in good guys, so I'm going to give them some credit there.
Well, that's a wait and see.
When
situation.
you lose 2 Pro Bowlers on the D line, you're not going to replace them. You're not going to replace them in 1 week. Really hope that now seems like the bye week has been perfectly positioned.
We need that bye, man. Yeah, check the handle, Joe, down there, former Dallas Cowboys intern. Got you.
Yeah, that was back in 2010, the first time Romo
basically
got hurt.
A practice squad.
Hey, yeah, me and Dez went in as rookies together. Like I like to say that because we were both walking around Valley Ranch one time, and he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, do you know where so and so coach's office is?" Like, Dez, I'm a rookie just like you. I'm not sure, but let me find out for you. That's just one of the stories. Stay tuned because I've got a ton of Dallas Cowboys insight stories. Just a little cliffhanger for you guys down the road.
Can't wait to get some of those.
Well,
yeah. But go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
Y'all mentioned we were struggling with some injuries, right? So we talked about the D line. Let's switch over to the offense. And Brandon Cooks is down. He had a lingering knee issue from earlier in the offseason where he had a little, minor thing to address it up. But no, that was earlier. Now, recently, he's gotten that scoping done. So that should take him out 3 weeks from what I'm seeing. So he'll be out 3 weeks. So who's going to step up for us? And
it's the young guns.
I've got a little detail on Brandon Cooks. If you guys didn't catch the whole story,
spit it, Dave. Spit it.
So Brandon Cooks was expecting to have this procedure done on his knee in the mini bye week. So he had,
coming up.
No. In because of the Thursday night game. So the Thursday night game, they had the procedure in New York. That's right. So they had the procedure. They wanted to avoid scoping his knee. So they had another more minor surgery to clear some debris or whatever the scenario was. Unfortunately, 2 days later, there were signs of an infection. And so he actually,
that's right.
He had to actually have the full on scoping surgery, which he would have possibly played the next, this game. That was their plan. And unfortunately, these things happen. We know the Cowboys pay for the best surgeons in the game. So no shade there, but they did have to end up putting him through another procedure, which now he's got a serious swelling situation. And it's all about managing swelling, couple weeks, maybe next week, but probably going to miss another game. I would think. I'm not a doctor. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
But you did go to college for 8 years, no?
No.
Just kidding. That was me. Anyway, moving on.
I went for 2.5. A good 2.5.
So let's talk about this matchup versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
All right.
So Alex, what the last time we played the Steelers in Pittsburgh? That was 2016. Dak and Zeke were rookies.
Glory days.
It was our toughest road game of the season, regular season, obviously. What happened?
The Cowboys have 2nd and 18. Setting up a screen for Elliott with blocking. Huge play. Elliott into Steeler territory. Down the sideline. And in for the touchdown. No flags.
Hey.
God, that was so awesome. Back when Zeke was the man, he was so fast. All the moves. Oh, man.
Joe Buck.
Of course.
Why you got to ruin it, dude?
Oh, man, that was an amazing game. And this is the game that went into overtime, right? Or almost.
I thought it was overtime. I went back and looked. There was like a minute.
It was the end of the game.
And then the Cowboys scored with like 40
seconds
run, right? Left. Yeah, it was a Zeke run.
God, what a
Well,
mean,
yeah, it was a Zeke run. Yeah.
That's why
Yeah,
you
it
take.
was like
That's
maybe from the
amazing.
40-yard line on their side, he broke loose. Maybe it was like a 35
He
yard
did
or
it like
something like that.
4 or 5 times a year. It was
Yeah,
an incredible
that was
rookie
his
season.
best run of his entire career. And now we're going up against the Steelers again. Totally different teams, but Zeke's back.
Yeah.
Dak's here.
Zeke's back. Dak is here. I mean, last time we played them, man, Des Bryant was on that team. Jason Goldjack Witt was on that team. Like, there were so many guys that we had.
Marcus Ware.
Definitely different squad.
But I think okay. So Alex, where are we going next?
So look, we're not the only ones that are banged up. So I'll go ahead and show some of the injuries that we got for the Steelers. This is from earlier today.
Yeah.
We know Russell Wilson's not playing. It's going to be Justin Fields. And by the way, Justin Fields has had a career year. Not only has he had a career year, every single game has been better this season than any of his games ever in his previous game.
Whoa, what?
What? The 4 games Fields has played this year, each of those games has been better than any game he's ever played in his entire career.
Well, I mean,
he's been
we
a
got
low
small
patch
sample size, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but he's on a new team, and it looks like this is a good fit for Fields, man. So I don't think Russell Wilson's coming back anytime soon, and he's definitely not coming back for this matchup. They've got a backup running back injured as well, so they've been rolling out Cordell Patterson as the RB2 behind Najee Harris. So we'll see if they can hold up. Even he's been a little bit banged up. But we've got some injuries on the defensive side of the ball. We know that JJ Watt's brother is going to crash. TJ Watt. So I mean,
there's a big one on that list, guys. There's a big one. Alex Highsmith. This guy plays bully ball. This guy is a great defensive player. Would love to have him on the Cowboys. Doesn't sound like he's going to play. Typically, that would signal we're going to have some success in the run game. When this guy's not in their lineup, they have a little bit more hard time stopping the run. But I mean, the squad has been clean this year so far. But losing him is it's going to impact the game.
Yeah. Guys, there's another one that's not on the list because this guy is done for the season, unfortunately, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Last week against the Colts, the Pittsburgh Steelers lost one of their offensive linemen for the season. James Daniels, out for the season, guys. Torn Achilles. Never like to see that.
Brutal.
I mean, from a scheming standpoint, it'd be great to have those pass rushers in there to exploit that, but you got to feel for that guy. But this is a big one, not on the list. Obviously, this is news from a few days ago, so they wouldn't show up on the list because they're not going to even be on the roster.
He's on a different list.
Yeah,
he's on a different list, but that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, but guys, look, the Cowboys' biggest flaw has been the run game, and it's actually been the run game on both sides of the ball. Somehow, but as far as Zeke and Rico Dowdle, obviously Zeke's been getting fewer and fewer carries every week. Rico Dowdle, even though he's the lead guy, Cowboys are like 32nd in running. So we got to get.
How many teams are there in the league again?
Yeah, to 32. So, are we going to be able to run the ball, or is the formula to win to be more passing? They're going to be on CeeDee Lamb, but who's going to step up here?
Yeah, there's a couple ways, right? Couple things to think. Like CeeDee Lamb, forcing it to CeeDee Lamb doesn't sound like a bad strategy. Doesn't sound like the best one you can do, but you always got that in your back pocket. So maybe that's not how they come out.
I'll take CD against whoever's supposedly guarding him. Every day, all day.
And apparently the Steelers defense plays a lot of zone, so they keep the ball in front of them. They keep their eyes on the quarterback, and so got a risk for picks. But on the other side of that coin is that they're going to be a little bit more static in their defensive formations, especially pre-snap. They're not going to be moving across the field trying to stay with CD. So if any game were the game to come in with a game plan to move in the backfield, not just CD, but everybody back there, get a lot of motion going on, this is one of the games to do that. That's what you do in zone. And you get a guy just in motion laterally. That's how you beat zones. And so I think it's very possible you have a big game from CD, even if he gets doubled or even if they have over the top help. This guy is so good after the catch and against a scheme that is playing timid, playing off the ball, he's gonna get the ball in his hands and be able to turn a field, and that is a bad scenario for the Steelers defense.
I mean, let's talk about the Steelers got exploited a little bit by the Colts.
Flacco
The Steelers got Flacco, man.
lit him up, kind of, dude.
Still
I mean,
terrorizing the AFC North, man. He's been on everyone but the Bengals, right? So, pretty much it seems like. But no,
Flacco was able to connect on a bunch of passes, nothing too deep, just kind of taking what a zone will give you. And if the Cowboys can go into this game and play that way, which I know Dak can do, I know CD can do, and I'm pretty sure Jake Ferguson could do. So, like, we've got the guys. We don't need to hold the ball back there. We don't really need a guy to break it over the top. Cooks is injured anyway. So just get up there and throw 5-6 yard routes on first down and make it an easier proposition to just give Lupke the ball on 2nd and 5. Give Lupke the ball on 3rd and 1 and pound it right up there.
I'm glad you're not coaching.
Yeah. Abominable throw.
Hey, I just lost all my players.
Yeah, Justin Fields is finally on a team with a decent coaching staff. Last week Fields completed 22 of 34 passes, 322 yards and a touchdown.
That's really good.
And then rushing for 2 more scores. How did the Cowboys fare against that one guy, Lamar Jackson last week?
Oh, man.
Who was probably just a little bit faster and way more experienced than Justin Fields. Like I said last week, this is sort of a poor man's Ravens squad with how they have their stuff set up offensively. Now that Justin Fields is in the back, directing traffic, taking snaps in lieu of Russell Wilson, who knows how mobile he is these days, but Fields is really fast.
Yeah,
he's really
like
fast.
I said, it's our not only our offense's weaknesses running, but the defense as well. And we're down a couple guys. Like last week, remember my challenge was, hey, Micah Parsons was my down player on defense last week, and guess what happened? Unfortunately, I did kind of call that because we needed him to step up. We needed him to. You
made him go down, Alex.
No,
I don't like that one. I don't like that.
No,
and I want to shout out the Steelers situation they have put themselves in, because I talked about this in our last show previewing Steelers before a bunch of things changed midweek, but I talked about how they didn't settle for just bringing in one quarterback. They were like, our quarterback situation is so bad, we need to make sure we bring in some competition. Okay, so now you see Justin Fields, he's got competition back there. So he can't go back there and throw 4 picks in a game or 2 picks and 2 fumbles in a game. He might get pulled mid-game if he does something like that. So I feel like he's playing with that fear.
What's up with Russell? Is he active?
No, I don't believe he's going to be active, but he knows that if he puts up Bears style performance, Bears Justin Fields performance, obviously it's going right back to Russell Wilson. That's what Tomlin said when Russell was injured. They said he's the starting quarterback. He earned the starting quarterback job. It's his when he gets back. Well, he has been a little less committal on that since Fields has.
It's tough to complain about a 3-1 record, isn't it?
Yeah. It's hard to make a move after starting that hot. So I mean, but look at this: 10 rushes, 55 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then 1 touchdown in the air. This is the last game.
That's so scary.
These are the type of quarterbacks that always just crush the Cowboys.
Yeah, not too
even
much.
Even if Brock Purdy, a little bit of that athleticism, like I'm still having nightmares from.
Hey, Alex Smith. Alex Smith used to eat us up on 3rd down every single play. Yep. I hated Alex Smith.
Going back to Donovan McNabb, but hey, different regime, different times. But McNabb crushed us.
RG3.
RG
Yikes! Stanky leg.
Yeah.
All right.
So I kept trying to tee y'all up for talking about who's gonna replace Brandon Cooks. Okay. And no one wants to talk about it.
I got the young guns. It's the young guns, bro. It's the young guns.
Why does nobody want to talk about who's going to step up? Is it going to be Tolbert? Is it going to be Ryan Flournoy, who's potentially going to get his first snaps of the season?
It's probably going to be Ferguson, to be honest. But hey,
I agree. If you read the tea leaves, Flournoy was not quite ready, and the Cowboys have done this all over the place the past couple of years. They give a guy a redshirt year on a receiver. They want him to know the system really well. They don't want to put someone out there that's going to risk. Dak needs these guys to be. I mean, he has the highest percentage of tight window throws. That's his game. He just slips it on in there, and if you have a rookie miscue, it can be a tip ball interception scenario. So the difference between the options now is that you have Tolbert, who is more experienced, quicker, a little more explosive player. And you have
Better route
Flournoy,
running.
who is a bigger player, who apparently was drawing some praise for his ability to block. Now, blocking receivers, they love them. Noah Brown had a job for 5 years almost with the Cowboys for being purely a blocking receiver. So I don't know exactly what
Noah Brown
I'm
is good on
expecting.
special teams too.
Yeah, and if I know Flournoy would play special teams too. He's got the body. They just
I think he would be pretty good. He'd be feisty.
So we'll see what happens. Flournoy knows it's a kind of a scenario for him to shine. To try to put some good stuff on tape and say, hey, I'm ready now. But I think in the long run this season, this is going to be kind of just a blip for Flournoy. Get him a cup of coffee. And I think Tolbert's actually possibly going to have a good game this week. You look at the catches.
Are you trying to throw some hot takes right now, Dave?
I mean,
we're not doing.
He's a better receiver than Turpin. Okay, like he's a better receiver than Turpin by 50%, 60, 70%. He just has that more innate ability to play to the ball. Turpin is more of a hit me with the ball, and Tolbert is more of a I can snatch the ball kind of a guy.
And also like the size factor is a big deal, right? We see Turpin every time he gets tackled. It looks like one of us getting tackled out there, just getting crushed. Like, I don't know. I mean, that guy's a professional athlete. He's really strong, so he takes it. But
I'm the human log, Burge.
Well, look, hey, I'll still say with Flournoy, he's excited to play, man. He says, "I'm excited to show y'all." It's in here. He taps his heart. It's in here. Y'all will see.
Love that.
All right. He said, "Y'all will see." Okay,
yeah, man.
Okay.
Let's get it done.
Mike McCarthy says Flo is definitely ready. He's been competing each week to be up. He'll definitely have more opportunities. And
I like that.
He said he was learning from Brandon Cooks. Like he's been. Like every chance he can get when he's on the sideline, he'll if he does a route, he'll go back and ask, "Hey, CD or Brandon Cooks, what could I have done better on this route? Or what's your daily routine like?" That's some of the stuff that he was talking about here in this interview. So he seems really coachable, eager, ready to get out there. He's 6'1". I think he's got close to prototypical size for receivers. So it's an unknown, black question mark box, right? We'll see what's inside this week. But give him a little bit of grace, man. Maybe in 3 years he could be better than Tolbert. But this week, I definitely think it will be Tolbert that has to step up.
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys have put good bodies back there in that wide receiver room. It's unfortunate that Cooks went down, but if you look at this receiver room in 2 years, it's probably CeeDee Lamb, Tolbert, and Brooks or something like that, maybe Flournoy. Like it's exciting to see that they have a pipeline of guys that are looking. I didn't think Tolbert was going to look like he was going to be a wide receiver 2 in the future, like in the making, but he has certainly looked that way. And I think we're going to see some similar traits from Flournoy, hopefully. Let's go, Flo.
Well, until we draft Isaiah Bond from Texas, right?
Ooh, we can get any of those cats out of Texas, and it'll be a nice addition.
We'll do some scouting episodes after the season. All right, after the Super Bowl.
We'll think of something fun to do on the bye week. I'm looking forward to what we come up with.
Ooh, I like that idea too. All right, so yeah, hopefully somebody steps up. Yes, Ferguson's got to, but we need some more help than that, man. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
All right. So
one more. We talked about tight ends. We only talked about one tight end. We should have John Stevens Jr. We should have obviously Schoonmaker, and then you got Span Ford, all healthy, ready to go. Are any of these guys going to help replace Brandon Cooks? And I mean not Drake Ferguson.
No, like they don't have the agility to. If you're talking about apples to apples, like
McCarthy likes to throw to a big chunky dude. All right.
Well, that's fine, but
and that's
Cooks ain't no
Lukey.
big chunky dude. Like, I mean, Cook isn't a chunky dude.
Spanford. Like these
I
guys
get
are
it,
the
I get
type
it.
like
of guy
Spanford, but
McCarthy
You know,
likes
I
to
think
use.
I think Dak likes the big receivers. He loves the tight ends.
all
So
right,
are
it's
we
not
gonna
like
have
Dave's
two?
calling a Spanford TD this game, right?
I'm saying, are we gonna have two tight
Oh.
end sets, or are we gonna have three
That's a
wide receiver
bold
sets?
prediction.
You know, like which
Wait,
way is he
wait.
gonna go?
I
Is he
see
gonna
what you
put
mean, though. Two
more tight
tight
ends on the
set.
field or more receivers on the field? I don't know.
We
I don't
trust Tolbert. We've seen Tolbert with high targeted games, so I think
Yeah.
we're gonna Tolbert mix around with Turpin for a few plays here and there, and maybe
And
mix
Lupke.
in the third receiver there, like
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
rotate
yeah,
that
yeah.
spot.
Lukey can be that sort of slot
I already
receiver
called 2
hybrid
touchdowns
type
from
of
Lukey.
guy.
I'm
It's just
sticking
because
to it.
the tight ends that are behind Ferg, they're all still new, man. Like Schoonmaker actually did okay while Ferg was down. To be honest, he was 6 for 6. So maybe it would
If
be
we're
Schoon.
going 5 wide, Ferg is wide. That's all I'm saying.
But
Or maybe
don't you
slot.
don't
you
you
know,
think that?
he's a wide receiver in a 5
But what
wide
about the
situation.
roster construction last year? I think they had 4 tight ends last year. They did, because they had Hendershot, they had Ferguson, they had
Schoon.
Schoonmaker, and they had or is that it? They only they have 3. So
we had already traded Dalton. Yeah.
I thought they had they brought more tight ends than I thought they were going to bring in, is my point. To coming into this season, I didn't
Yeah.
see them keeping John Stevens Jr. and Spanford. Again, Spanford is the guy they paid a lot of money to, guaranteed as an undrafted free agent, the most in the league. He got like 250 guaranteed. And, you know, when is that going to show itself here? Like, why did you do that? You know, we'll see. This is the kind of time where you lost a guy, and this is a very physical Steelers team. So I feel like I'm lecturing you guys. Like, I'm excited to see
David,
what happens.
No, I
Dave,
like
there's
it.
a lot of why did you do that? Questions that I'm sure we all have. Like,
Yeah.
why did Jerry Jones wait till the 11th hour to sign our 2 best skill players and then miss out on free agency? Like, I mean, I know I keep on saying that, but like it keeps coming back to bite us in the ass. Like,
I mean, everyone's going to be short a player or two this time of the season, so it's just it's unfortunate, but
it's like you say this time of the season, we're only a quarter way in though. Like, come on.
everyone has lost.
I'd rather
players.
have
Look,
the injuries
did
early.
you see the other
Sure.
injury report? The Steelers are losing guys too. So like,
yeah,
everyone's losing a guy
and
too.
Guys, let's
don't make me stand up, Joe.
Yeah. Don't let me
Right?
go over.
I'm
to
coming
your
for
house.
you. I'm coming for you, and I'm bringing
I know where
Lukey
you
with
live,
me.
David. I know where
I'm
you
bringing
live.
Lukey.
Hey, listen to your brother. Okay, all right. Let's move on. Like,
All right.
Well,
we got some big picture, stuff to talk about, like the NFC East, the NFC. Where do we stand? I think 2-2 is a actually pretty damn good record in the NFL in its entirety right now. Like, who's undefeated? I know there's a few 3-1 teams, but most of the league is either 2-2 or 3-1.
we got to start in the division, and I think we're doing just fine for the division. Now, there is a tidbit. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. Did y'all hear anything about the strength of schedule the rest of the year? Dallas has the 4th hardest strength of schedule. You know who has the easiest schedule the rest of the year?
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
Washington.
Eagles. Brutal.
We play the
So
49ers. I think that they play the Rams, and I can't remember the differences. There's only a few games different, but that's the numbers.
Look at that points against. How terrible is that? And also points for. But I guess we're just.
It's what you would call mediocre.
So I think we're seeing.
What we're seeing.
I think we're seeing. We're seeing maybe the cream rise to the top. I don't know. I hope not. The Commanders have, obviously Dan Quinn and a few guys that we're familiar with over there. They're 3-1. They looked really, really good.
They got some swag. They got some swag on.
They got some swag, some momentum.
Dan Quinn brings that.
They got their quarterback. The one thing the Redskins / Commanders have never had over the last 10 years is a quarterback. Sorry, dude. I'm going historical here.
Is this
so
a
we
Mickey
gotta
Mouse?
Call him.
That was the Mickey Mouse slide.
Gotta call it what it is.
Hey, here's according to Sharp Football Analysis, the strength of schedule. This is for the whole year. So, but look, Eagles there were at 8 in the green, easiest.
Yeah.
Cowboys here at 20th. And,
yeah, the Cowboys that certainly have eaten our easy opponent, or some of our easy opponents. Here's another
I
good
see
point.
a lot of AFC teams behind us. We're like the worst NFC team almost.
If you look at I don't know. I just had a flash of Mike McCarthy, and I don't know what I want to happen. Do I want McCarthy to succeed? No. Do I want the Cowboys to succeed? Yes. So I'm just conflicted in every way I approach. What should be done here? What would I do here?
I think we're all realists here, Dave. Like we know that this team isn't necessarily built for the Super Bowl, but we've seen teams go on runs. You never know what happens. Teams get hot. Teams start to gel. We find guys coming out of the woodworks to make impacts. Guys come back and have phenomenal second halves of the season. We've seen teams go from really bad start to a Super Bowl, including the Dallas Cowboys back in the 90s. But I'm not saying this is that type of year. I'm not having the feeling this is that type of year. I'm just saying it's happened before, and I'm on a wait and see sort of playing here. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. That's a 2-2 mentality. That we're kind of on both sides of the fence. Like, is this team good enough to overcome, or are they being dragged down by their weaknesses, which are very glaring now? Nobody wants to see Brandon Aubrey line up for a field goal against them. That's the terror we inflict on some of these teams. But it also terrorizes me in the first quarter when you have multiple drives end in field goals. You just feel like you're losing the game. Field goals, in my opinion, it's easy to say this, but it's like that's a second half strategy. Like, you have to be going for 6 in the first half. You have to be taking risks more in the first half when you have time to make up for them with a Brandon Aubrey kick. You can't. You don't know how close you're going to get again, and apparently the Cowboys have not been good at getting close. So, man, we'll see. I actually think I have a little bit more positive outlook than I did last week. I don't know if we're going to get to what we think about how this is going to go down, or if there was anything else to kind of go over first. But
yeah, at the beginning of the year we did a little run through of the schedule, but and some predictions there. But we've got this Pittsburgh game, then Lions. The Lions look pretty good, man. Jared Goff last week set an NFL record, 100% completion percentage, 18-18 passing. Those guys have Super Bowl aspirations. But we've got the bye after that, so we can get healthy kind of at the right time, because even actually during that Lions game, we might get Bland back. He's eligible to come back, but let's just say they save everybody for after the bye week, right? And so we could come full strength versus the 49ers, have a full couple weeks to game plan for these guys. It's going to be tough, but they've got no Christian McCaffrey. Maybe we get lucky over there. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're winning kind of no matter what, because they got good coaching. So we know that's going to be a tough game. But Falcons, we can win that. Eagles, we always split these. So
Alex, let's not look past the bye week. We might lose that one too.
No, I'm just saying.
What do you think, Cheeto?
Okay. Cheeto has an opinion.
Yeah. Or 4 weeks into the season, that's when you can start to see trends. Like, we know where our weaknesses are, and we kind of have a feel for some of these teams. Like, at our predictions initially, we all picked the sweeping Commanders. Like, I don't think any of us have that pick anymore. We haven't even discussed Jaden Daniels in our conference yet. We haven't discussed that one time. This guy is basically the MVP. He's had the most perfect start to a season that anyone has had. But not only that, this 4-week stretch he's had is actually just better than any player, rookie or veteran.
Didn't he get NFC Player of the Month?
Landslide. Yeah. He's been crushing.
That's pretty impressive.
That's the first time a rookie has done that, guys.
Yeah, we have to deal with Malik Neighbors and Jaden Daniels, both from LSU. They're both teammates. Like, golly, this is going to be tough. No, I'm not trying to look ahead, but at the same time, we just haven't talked about the NFC East just getting better. At least with some of these teams that we thought were just complete nothing burgers. Like, we might actually have.
I guess the Giants had a little better too.
Yeah, that was a 5-point game with the Giants.
Yeah,
we've talked the Eagles. We talked about the Eagles so much. They're finally. It's like a monkey's paw. Like, I want the Eagles to suck. Well, now they kind of suck, and guess what? The Commanders are even better. Better. So it's like, damn it. It's gonna be a rough season, guys. This season.
Yeah,
Dave, I thought you predicted the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl, man.
I didn't predict that, but it sounds fun. I did not predict that. I like this cut. You can see here my John Madden by the bus autograph photo hanging.
hey,
I love that.
there you go.
Yeah.
And then Conan O'Brien right there. It's my guy.
Got
Those are my
real
two guys.
dark for Joe over there. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, the sun is in my face over here, and it's casting some weird shadows. I'm in Alex's house, but in the other.
I like
Hey.
that they're rotating around. It feels like we're a moving show, like a traveling show.
Yeah, well, check this out because
I'm
Joe-
traveling.
Joe. So we got some good feedback.
So
wanted
let's
to-
wrap it up with this. Let's wrap it up with this.
And for
Predictions
good
from
radio,
so far.
don't talk over people, brother. They can't hear it, bruh. We got some good feedback that people wanted to actually see what the predictions were. Okay, so we've got our week 1 through 4 predictions, but also the ones from week 5. And Joe was trying to ask to change the prediction just because of 6 days later. No, that's part of predictions. You can't change the predictions. So we're sticking with it here, no matter what it is. But look,
We had no
I
idea.
feel pretty good. I feel good about
no
my
idea
prediction.
about the IR for DeMarcus Lawrence,
They got hurt in the game. We watched them get hurt. Like, we could have expected them to miss a game.
I mean, I said it. I factored that into mine. So I don't know what you guys are.
So I've got 17-16 Steelers. That feels like just the score for both teams seems kind of realistic. I don't expect this to be a high scoring game. None of the Steelers games have been over 17 points. Cowboys have had some high scoring games, but with the injuries, I could see this not being great. You know, we're down to we only got one wide receiver, got a tight end, and hoping someone else steps up. No run game. So I could totally see me winning this prediction. But so far, the closest prediction was mine, actually, week 3, 28-24 versus Ravens. The actual was 28-25 Ravens. So that's been the closest one so far. Yeah. So we're sticking with these though. And hopefully Joe's right. We win 26-17 here.
Yeah, I would love to be right. I would love for you guys to be wrong. I'm sure you guys would love for yourselves to be wrong. So that means the Cowboys dub. But hey, let's see what happens. It's Sunday night, our first Sunday night game of the year. Weird stuff always tends to happen on Sunday nights. So let's see.
It's spooky season, boys. Maybe something crazy happens.
Maybe something crazy happens.
Maybe a full-on breakout game for one of our young guys on the offense. That would be, I think. You know what? That would be great.
Are you doing bold prediction? Are you doing a bold prediction?
No.
You're on wax, bro. You are on wax.
This is supposed to be a quick shot, but
all right, fair enough. Okay.
But real quick, there is a game happening about to start right now. So we've been fortunate. A lot of these shows have been on a game day. We got Bucks versus Falcons. Who do you think wins that game tonight?
I like Baker getting hot now. That's about as much of a take as I want to give because I haven't really been paying attention. But
yeah,
I do know Baker has been on fire, or at least his guys are behind him. And I like their momentum.
Yep.
They beat the Eagles too, right? Didn't they beat the Eagles? So I'm like, let's go.
I will second that. I'll second that. Like,
I'll triple that.
I think Bucks are probably the toast of that division at this point. Obviously I like Kirk Cousins, love Bijan, shout out UT. But they're not as good. They're just not as good of a team.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Anything else around the league you want to mention? So our Super Bowl pick was for I think me and Dave, we picked the Chiefs, and Joe picked the Ravens. Chiefs just took a big blow, lost Rashee Rice. So this kind of opens up what we thought would be a Super Bowl contender. If there's someone else in the AFC, like maybe it is the Ravens, like Joe's predicting, who would you rather face if you're the Cowboys? If somehow we make it to the Super Bowl, who would you rather face?
If hell froze over and the stars aligned, and the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl, just give me the Chiefs, man. I want to slay the dragon.
Oh,
You know what I'm
yep,
saying?
yeah, I love
Slay
it.
the dragon.
Well, I'm a big revenge game guy, and I'd love a storyline where we took out the Ravens after losing to them and kind of getting embarrassed and dragging Jerry through the mud for not going after Henry. If we put all that to bed, that would be a pretty sweet. Now, if you're talking about us making the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I like
look,
that.
well,
If you
we're
make
all
the
laughing.
Super
We're all
Bowl,
laughing. We're all laughing.
If you, yeah. But
no,
that's,
we're gonna
I like a revenge storyline. So give me the Ravens.
I love that. Hey, and then for me, if we face someone in the AFC, yeah, I probably want to face the Ravens, man. That's actually last year predicted Cowboys versus Ravens. Didn't happen. Ravens were close, not the Cowboys. So I want to see that. That's my other squad over there. So that would be super dope. And then on the NFC side, we haven't really talked about the fact that the number one team in the NFC is the Minnesota Vikings. So is that potentially, if we were to meet them, maybe we get the wild card or whatever, we meet them in the playoffs. Can we beat the Minnesota Vikings?
Give me the Vikings.
Is
Give me
Jared
the
Allen
Vikings.
still on that team?
Yeah.
Jared
Is
Allen
Adrian Peterson on that
absolutely
team?
crushed us.
Is Adrian Peterson on that team?
Yeah, he's not coming back down that tunnel.
He's not walking through that tunnel. Yeah, he's not walking that door. Neither is Stephon Diggs. I mean,
How about
neither
a mid-season
neither is Kirk
acquisition?
Cousins for that matter. But I mean, if we're doing hypotheticals, Cowboys win the game, sure. Put me in wax.
Yeah, Justin
Put it on the chain
Jefferson,
wax.
Aaron Jones is kind of rolling right now. Jordan Addison's good. And they don't even have TJ Hawkinson back yet. So that team has actually got some guys coming back, and they might even be better here in the next few weeks. So I don't know. They're a real threat. I think their division rival, the Green Bay Packers, are a real threat as well. Now that Jordan Love's back, they're putting up a ton of points and have a good defense. So it's, and obviously the Niners, they're dealing with some struggles, but they're winning most of those games. So I don't know. It's tough as ever. I do think we can get out of the NFC East. I think ultimately Jaden Daniels, he's still a rookie. He's going to have to show me before I think that the Washington team is going to walk out of here as the leader of the division. You know what I mean? So I guess my final question is, who is the NFC East winner going to be just after 4 games in? How you guys feeling now?
Yeah, we're a quarter through the season. Everyone, I mean, like I said earlier, I think it might be the Commanders, Cowboys with an outside shot.
I'm going to take the Cowboys with a better shot than Joe. I don't think we're talking about a rookie quarterback here. He hasn't even played these tough divisional games on the road yet. Don't crown them. If you want to crown them, crown their ass. All right. But they still have to go through the trials and tribulations just like everybody does. And, you saw Jalen Hurts have he didn't really play his rookie year, but he had a good sophomore season. Saw Dak go out there and have a very efficient rookie season. Those are 2 high bars to live up to. And then there's Daniel Dimes on the other side of the equation. But all 3 of these guys got paid. All 3 of these guys are leaders of their team. Give him some time. We don't have to sit there and crown him now as a division champ 4 weeks into his rookie season.
I forget who.
Don't clip that for later when they win.
Who won the division when Dak and Zeke were rookies back in 2016? Was
take a wild guess.
We were 12-5.
It was in boys.
the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. I mean, rookies can get it done. That's all I'm saying. Rookies can get it done when they have good talent around them. I mean, they have some
good coaching
talent, and we know that the coach is pretty decent.
Yeah, guys.
Playoffs against the Packers. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
You guys ready to wrap it up here?
Yeah, man. I was just gonna flash this. Rookie of the month here for Jaden Daniels. So just gotta watch out for this guy. He's basically the evolution of the quarterback, man. So this guy's a real threat.
I actually watched that documentary over the last couple of nights. It was really, really good. Definitely recommend a watch.
Sweet. Well, that'll do it. unless you guys got anything else, man, I'm telling you, the NFL is just so hard to predict, man. It's just so crazy right now. So let's hope our guys get healthy. We got Sunday Night Football, so we'll be back here on Monday with the Cowboys Uncovered. I'm Alex. We got Big D, Sports Guy Joe, and hey, let's get this W. All right.
Hey,
let's go start the Steelers.
I'll be in Fredericksburg Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Come through if you want to see your boy.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you guys.
Write it, Joel. Write it.